Known as one of Washington, D.C.'s youngest actress, writer, and director, Maya J. Pinson is shining brighter than the stars.
Well, I started in the industry at the age of 1. I was in a couple of print advertisements and magazines back when we still had physical magazines. And I performed in a few elementary school plays. And I had fun, but I realized that the stage wasn't for me. So then I became more interested in film and television, and I've been acting for about 7 years now. Whenever I think of my life as a child, I was always outside having fun with friends, being really active, playing a whole bunch of sports, riding bikes. I've always been busy, and I've always loved to have fun with whatever it is that I did. I am a member of the National Honor Society. I've maintained a 4.0 GPA, and I got a 4-year scholarship to my top choice college. I definitely see myself being behind the camera more because I've been in front of the camera for so long. I never really experienced the behind the camera until I was 15, and ever since I got that taste, I just loved it. My first film project, it was a student short film, and I had a couple lines, and I just had so much fun speaking on camera and actually being another character. I told my mom, I really want to do this. When I was 15 years old, I wrote, directed, and produced my first film, I'm Ready.
My son just informed me that he likes your daughter, and he wants to take her out on a date.
I'm Ready is a short film that helps promote open communication, trust, and honesty between teens and parents on all topics, but specifically in I'm Ready when it comes to dating. Because I know that having the talk with your child or with your parent can be a little uncomfortable. So the movie basically serves as a bridge to help parent and child express themselves, be open listeners, and trust each other. So I wrote my first children's book when I was 13 years old, and it was pretty easy, rhyming every other line. But I wrote my first movie at 15, and when I sat down and wrote it, I was like, whoa, this is so different than writing a book. Because you actually have to sit down and envision how you want the scenes to play out. And it's not really just, oh, what are you gonna read on a piece of paper? I found it a little difficult, and I'm Ready had a lot of drafts. I'll say that, had a lot of drafts. But the more films that I wrote, the less drafts I found myself turning in. I feel as if my writing has actually grown a lot, even in schoolwork. Once I started writing my own movies, I even noticed that my writing has improved in school. I've received many awards for my short films, for the writing, for the acting, but I'm most proud of receiving the Outstanding Writer Award from the Young Artists Academy based out of Hollywood, California. My most recent project, we just wrapped up a few weeks ago, and it's called Distractions. Distractions is a short film, but the message is really, really powerful. It's about a young girl named Tae Lee who's going with her friend to a party, and she has a few distractions that kind of takes them down a different route than expected. And this is a powerful message, and all drivers, especially young teen drivers or beginner drivers, really need to watch this movie to be aware of all the small little distractions that you think are okay in the car, but they really aren't. I also have another project called I Dare You, and I Dare You brings awareness to domestic violence. And that is super important because that is a real thing. A lot of domestic violence cases go unseen or unheard or disregarded, and that's something that needs to be taken seriously. And I Dare You shows plenty of signs and red flags that you can keep a lookout for other people, or if you are experiencing it yourself. 10 years from now, I see myself continuing to grow my production company. And one thing that's on my work bucket list is to maybe one day open up facilities or programs, but something that'll give independent filmmakers the equipment, or maybe even just like a set that's already built, and just give independent filmmakers the tools that they need to create the film. Because in the DMV area, it isn't really as many opportunities as it is in New York or California or Atlanta, Georgia. So I do, hopefully within the next 10 years, I open up my facility and I can rent that out to other independent filmmakers. You know, quite often people ask me, how do I balance such a heavy schedule? Middle school was when I started taking acting more seriously. That's when I started signing up for more after school activities. And at first it was a little hard, but I realized that I was able to adjust to that a lot quicker than my classmates. So in an effort to help teach others how to learn how to prioritize, I wrote my book, Backpack Lily, which teaches kids how to stop, drop, work, and then play. And ever since I came up with that tagline, I apply that to my life, and I still have been using that for years. I've always prioritized my academics first, and then I move on to work or extracurricular activities, or whatever the case may be, even free time with friends. After watching my films, I always want the audience to walk away with two things. First, I want them to walk away with whatever message I incorporated into my film, because in all my movies, I make sure I incorporate positive messages that other people can benefit to. And usually my target audience is teenagers, but my messages are applicable to people of all ages. The second thing I want people to walk away with is to walk away feeling inspired. I'm a 17-year-old filmmaker. I started being in the industry at the age of 1. No matter how old you are, how young you are, you can do anything you want if you put your mind to it and just try.